Hello, dear learners. Today I welcome you all to the new topic, that is dapsone and clofazimine. We have learned these drugs' names under the classification of antileprotic drugs. So these are the two drugs which are really very important from the exam point of view, and this dapsone is also again used extensively. And wherever the dapsone will not work, or if it is getting resistance is getting created, clofazimine is the drug of choice. So we are going to talk about the uses of clofazimine and complete dapsone. So coming towards the structure, we have already discussed the structure in SAR video of dapsone, but then too we'll just have a quick review of the structure with the IUPACs, or different names by which it is known. So this is the structure of sulfonamide as you already know it from the previous video which we have seen. As per the name 4,4 dash, that means if you will see the moieties, this is S double bond O2, this SO2 is sulfone, and this phenyl ring to which on fourth positions, this is first, second, third, fourth position, and this is 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash. So 4 and 4 dash पे दो अमीनो ग्रुप्स अटैच है, इसीलिए 4,4 dash diamino. These are two phenyl rings. This is first one, this is second one. So it is diphenyl, and the center group is sulfone. So the name is 4,4 dash diamino diphenyl sulfone. The other names by which it is known is like this is 4,4 dash sulfonyl dianiline. Dianiline. So sulfonyl dianiline, this is sulfonyl, and this is this phenyl ring and NH2. This combinedly is known as aniline, benzene ring and NH2. So it is dianiline. That means two anilines on sulfonyl, but these are at 4 and 4 dash position. This NH2s are present. Sulfonyl के then sulfonyl bisbenzenamine, 4,4 dash sulfonyl bisbenzenamine. That means benzene पे amine, so दो है, ये दो functional groups है, तो it is bisbenzenamine. It is also known by the name bis 4-aminophenyl in bracket. That means two ये ग्रुप्स है, कौन से, अमीनोफिनाइल. दिस इज अमीनो, दिस इज फिनाइल, फोर्थ पोजीशन पे अमीनो है. सो इट इज बिस 4-aminophenyl sulfone and sulfonyl dianiline. That means this is sulfonyl and these are two dianiline groups. So this is also one common name, sulfonyl dianiline. Then coming towards the properties of dapsone, the dapsone properties are as simple like this. You will have to remember, there is no option, but till now dapsone they have asked the uses, complete question they have asked. So there are few drugs which you will have to study complete along with the properties and this stability, storage, etc. So properties are slightly soluble in water, freely soluble in ethanol, and it is soluble in mineral acids like HCl and all. So it is white or creamy white crystalline powder. It can be white or it can be creamy white, bitter in taste, odorless, which is same as that of earlier drugs which we have seen. Then coming towards the stability and storage, normally it is stable at ordinary conditions or normal conditions, but since it is affected by light, we are supposed to store it in well closed light resistant container. That means airtight light resistant container. So coming towards the mechanism of action, this mechanism of action I will just give you a gist, because this majorly this is the mechanism of sulfonamides. So in sulfonamides we are going to study this mechanism of action in detail. So coming towards the MOA, again on this question is also being asked in the exam. So mechanism of action covers like this is para-aminobenzoic acid, that is PABA, plus pteridine is responsible for synthesizing the sequential steps for folic acid in the sequential steps. So first it will form dihydropteroic acid, then it will form DHFA, that is dihydrofolic acid, then it will form THFA, that is tetrahydrofolic acid, and with the help of other precursors, this thymidines, that is purines, these are the bases which are required for the DNA. So formation, so DNA synthesis, or what you can call it as, this mechanism is done, or this mechanism goes sequentially with the help of some enzymes. So these are the enzymes from PABA. First it is first step is synthesis of dihydropteroic acid. So it needs dihydropteroate synthetase, teroate, since it is responsible for teroic acid. Then since it is DHFA, dihydrofolic acid, so it is dihydrofolate synthetase. The synthetase is for synthesizing, synthetase is for synthesizing, teroate is for teroic acid, folate is for folic acid. So this dihydrofolate synthetase and dihydrofolate reductase, now this is reductase, so it is responsible for reducing DHFA to THFA. So this enzyme involved is dihydrofolate reductase. These two enzymes are the major what you can say targets for sulfonamides, and this dihydroteroate synthetase is the target of dapsone. This step, this first step is inhibited, because of which further this sequential steps will not occur, consecutive steps, and ultimately DNA synthesis will not occur, or DNA formation, you can call it as particular word, will not take place. So mechanism of actions are inhibition of PABA, that is para-aminobenzoic acid inhibition, so that dihydroteroic acid synthesized will not be formed, DHFA will not be formed, THFA will not be formed, and folic acid will not be formed. Then since it is responsible for inhibiting this last step, folic acid synthesis, by what you can say hampering first step itself. So in turn sequential steps will not take place. So second is inhibition of bacterial folic acid synthesis, and as you all know, again folic acid is also essential component, or essential requirement, what you can call is for growth of the microorganism. Then leprostatic are nothing but the responsible for proliferating microorganism, inhibition of proliferation. So this interference with the proliferation. So these are the three actions, interfering with the proliferation, inhibition of folic acid synthesis, and inhibition of PABA at first step itself. Then coming towards the uses, first use is Mycobacterium leprae infection. Treat the leprosy, as it is an anti-leprotic drug. It is basically used in the treatment of leprosy, that is Hansen's disease. It is used in treatment of both the forms of leprosy, say for tuberculoid as well as lepromatous leprosy. So what are these forms, we will discuss in our next video. Though these forms are not important from exam point of view, but since to understand the uses of dapsone, what are they, what are the symptoms of them, what is the difference between tuberculoid leprosy and lepromatous leprosy, which one is more severe, all these things we are going to cover in the video of types of leprosy. So you are supposed to remember that dapsone is used in both the forms, tuberculoid as well as lepromatous leprosy. In tuberculoid form, skin lesions whatever are there, that disappears within 3 to 9 months. But since the lepromatous form is most severe, it takes approximately 2 to 5 years, and after disappearance of the lesion also it is advisable to continue the treatment for 18 months. Then treatment of acne, pneumocystis pneumonia. Pneumocystis pneumonia is generally in case of HIV patients. It is infection due to a yeast like fungus called pneumocystis. So it is pneumocystis pneumonia. So in treatment of pneumocystis pneumonia also dapsone is used. Then treatment of dermatitis herpetiformis. So in treatment of this, what is actually dermatitis herpetiformis? It is a autoimmune disorder or autoimmune skin condition where blistering occurs, and it is characterized by the blisters which are filled with a watery fluid that is intensely itchy. So blisters which are filled with water and itching sensation occurs. So that is generally a condition in dermatitis herpetiformis. And other skin conditions also it includes, which are due to lichens planus also. Next is toxoplasmosis prophylaxis. In the prophylaxis of toxoplasmosis as well as malaria prophylaxis, so it is used as a prophylactic agent. It is toxoplasmosis is nothing but caused due to a parasite only. It is a parasitic infection only, due to all these reasons such as undercooked contaminated meat, or cat feces, or mother to child during the pregnancy, it is getting transmitted. In malaria prophylaxis also it is used in the treatment, in prophylaxis of malaria with pyrimethamine it is used, in conjunction with pyrimethamine or combination with pyrimethamine. Then treatment of idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura. It's an autoimmune disorder in which the blood doesn't clot normally. So in treatment of this condition also, thrombocytopenic purpura, this condition also it is used. And last is leishmaniasis. So it is again a parasitic infection, parasitic disease which is caused due to leishmania parasite. So leishmaniasis is also one of the major what you can call it as a curable disease, which is being dapsone is working on which. So the uses you are just supposed to remember: first leprosy, you know, acne treatment, then pneumonia treatment, then dermatitis herpetiformis, toxoplasmosis and malaria prophylaxis, leishmaniasis. So what the number you can remember, you are supposed to remember, and you are supposed to write this in exam. Then because uses also are very important. Then coming towards the clofazimine uses. In clofazimine I have included only uses because just twice or thrice they have asked, not even that many times, about the uses of clofazimine. So clofazimine properties and all, we are not supposed to deal with it. Clofazimine uses same as that of this dapsone only, but it is a second line drug. In case of dapsone resistant cases it is preferred. It is also having anti-inflammatory properties, Lepre reaction due to anti-inflammatory properties. Then used in Lepre reaction due to on the virtue of its anti-inflammatory properties. Then it is active against Nocardia, actinomyces and streptomyces species also. These are another species. See this Nocardia, actinomyces or streptomyces, other bacterial species in which is active against these species also, clofazimine. Then coming towards the uses, see dapsone, clofazimine is having this anti-inflammatory properties also, same as that of with the dapsone. So this dapsone is working on both the sides. It is working as antimicrobial, along with it it is acting as anti-inflammatory. So same as that of clofazimine. Both the virtues it is having. See, if you will see the points, first leprosy hai, toxoplasmosis hai, leishmaniasis hai, malaria hai. Same way it is having anti-inflammatory properties also in various parts. So official preparations and brand names of dapsone we will come, that are also not really asked in the exam, but since that complete drug is important, we will not skip that. Official preparations: dapsone IPBP, then dapsone tablet IPBP. Brand names are dapsone, DDS by which it is asked in exam also. You very well know dapsone itself, again it's the brand name. Then Novophone, then difenazone, etc. are the brand names of dapsone. With this we finish with the dapsone and clofazimine. Thank you.